Iftika was mentioning it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, guys. So again, this is Canva, just for a video. So again, when you go into templates, you can get here a lot of ideas. Okay, so here's education. There are many type of stuff that they're promoting in here: business cards, invoice, newsletter. I'm just sometimes just going here and like scrolling here and like, okay, what will work for me? Because I understand that creating, even 2, 3 posts a day, sometimes it's just not easy. Sometimes you're just like sitting there and like you need to create something but you don't know what. You just have no idea. You're like, you're exhausted. You exhausted your brain in this case. And you're going in here, you're checking this type of post. You're like, use this template, and voila, you have a post. Okay, and this post is actually good for our social media because it for the Digital Marketing Institute, it makes sense. You're just explaining what apparently they're explaining here what is, what all medias are doing. So just correct it a bit, make it look prettier for our, social media, make it more unique, put our website, our logo somewhere in there, and it's ready. You can, post it in there. That's uh, that's that's why Canva is really good for you because you can get ideas in here. You can just go here and check and create. Now features. So another thing why I like Canva because they have a lot of stock photos. So stock photos are photos that are usually in a very good quality, and because it's on Canva, we are able to use them without any checking. If you go into Google, you will see that some photos are having how to say it. They're protected. Say it again.
They have the trademark.
The trademark, right. So we are not able to use all the photos on Google or anywhere else. That's why I recommend you to use this type of websites where you can find, free stock photos. And Canva is not just one of them. There are like many stock photos for free where you can just, here's for example another one that I'm using sometimes. It's Pexels, and you can just find in here photos. You can freely download them, you can freely get them, and you can freely use them in your business because you're not gonna be afraid that someone will message you saying, oh hello, you need to pay me for this photo because you used it without my permission. This happens. I can tell you, maybe not that often, but if someone like Amazon will post a picture of someone, where they didn't buy the photo of that person, it might be pretty bad for them. Because we're small, it might, we can get away with this for now at least. But still, if someone will see it, it's not good. So remember to always try to use pictures that are on a free stock photo websites on Canva or any other stock website that you're gonna find. Obviously, it's not. I mean, I'm talking about very specific pictures. If you're gonna go to Google and just gonna Google Facebook, like you wanna take a logo of Facebook, it's fine. I'm pretty sure nobody gonna say anything to you. But if it's a very specific picture of some, I don't know, of a city or of a person or of, someone when you feel like it was a person who took this picture and they posted it in there, it might be not good for you. So don't do this. So and here's some learning, from them.
I just want to add something here is that if you want to find photos, you can just Google royalty free photos. So, in that, you have multiple websites where they have free photos and a lot, millions of photos there. So, just wanted to add this one. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. So yeah, just remember about this. Now, on top we can have search. So search, obviously, you can just search for whatever you need right now, and create design. So create design is one of the most important buttons in here. I want to say, so you can just look in here for what type of post you want to create. So again, there is a lot. That's why I like Canva because it has a lot of things. Now, in our case, we're gonna go with Instagram post. And by the way, on the left side, there are pretty obvious buttons, all your designs, recent designs, content planner. It doesn't work as good as Hey Work. I'm just saying it's not it doesn't work as a work. It's just for you to put all the content in here and then you can download it. So mm, you don't have to use it. Okay, some questions I see. Okay. Okay, yes, guys. Okay, now the interface of Canva. So this is the the creation and the interface where you create in actual post. So on top we have just navigation buttons, share, download, blah blah blah. On the left we have templates. So templates, again, a good idea for you to just go through this and check for whatever you feel like. Maybe for example, this one will work for you. You see it's animated, nice, and you can change it. Obviously, everything in here is changeable. Like you can add something, you can change the colors, certain colors, I think. Like here, you see, you can just change colors and make it unique for you. So that's why I like Canva again. So templates, pretty good because we can just make a lot of ideas in here, and we can just look for idea whatever you feel like. I'm looking, honestly, I'm pretty often checking in here sometimes. So templates, uploads. If you want to download something to your to Canva, you just upload it in here and it's gonna save it. So you can use it in every device that you have. So I was creating a few posts for my sister, and I had to upload a lot of pictures, and I was able to use it. Here's for example, this one during the internship I was using a lot because you can just click in here, you uploaded it, you click in here, and it's a good photo for you. Elements. Elements are just many different things that you might use. Frames, for example, is one of the most important that I want to show you. So it looks like this. It looks stupid a bit, but if you're gonna go to uploads, for example, here's the photo of something. Here's the photo of a restaurant, and if we want to make it framed like a circle, we're just gonna you know hold it in here over that circle, and it's gonna make this picture framed into this circle. So that's how it works. So this you can find in elements, in frames. You can find charts, you can find videos, graphics, photos, shapes, whatever. Mostly I'm just using Canva search. So it works pretty well, but don't expect that you're gonna find literally everything in here. They have a lot of things in here, but sometimes you might have to use other platforms for you to find certain materials. Photos is more detailed for photos. So here you see many photos, many stock photos. It's just random photos. But if I'm gonna put, for example, marketing, so they're gonna show some certain pictures for marketing. I'm not a fan of using, pictures with certain, text like this one. I'm not a fan, honestly. If you feel like it looks good, do use it. But I personally not a fan. I would rather take something without any, text like this, because I could put it myself. And pictures are really good. They're always a very big, good quality, and they're big, so you can, put them on all over your photo, all over your, picture that you're trying to create, because they're just very good quality. That's why that's the benefit of Canva. Now goes graphics. So graphics are different circles, different little things that are not photos, but they were uploaded by people who created them on Photoshop, for example. Because you cannot create something like this on in here. I mean, I think you can, but it's gonna take you like many hours, and it's a lot easier to just go to Photoshop and create something like this. But there are just some certain elements that you might use. Text, there are three types of text. It doesn't matter which one you take, you can always um, edit it. So for example, when I'm taking text, I can make it bigger in here, I can make it bigger in here, I can choose different font. what's bad about Canva? And oh, they actually have it now. They didn't have upload font before, but now they do. So now it's not a bad about Canva. It's good about Canva. You can upload the font. Um, how to find font? You just go into Google and searching for a font that you're trying to find. For example, for the Digital Marketing Institute, um, here is the font. Good Times is the font, and um, tagline again, Good Times. So how you're gonna do this? You're just going to Google. You just searching for font Good Times. You're downloading it to your computer, and there will be specific type of file for this, and you can just upload it to Canva or to Photoshop or even to Paint if you're using Paint. I saw some people. Let's see if they have it. They don't have it. So yeah, if something you just need to upload, if you want to use that font, you can just upload it. But there are many fonts in here, like actually a lot. So you can find it. Do we always have to use good times for our content? No, you don't have to use good times for all of your content because I understand that sometimes you have idea and that font just doesn't fit. You can use something different. Just don't go, like too crazy with this one. Don't go like, for example, um, here's the text, and don't go with this type of font, for example. Okay, so because it's not looking like us. We want to use something more like straight, more like this, for example. You know what I mean. Just make sure that it looks good. Now, music is for videos. So, for example, if you're creating some kind of a video you can create in here. And how can you create video? First of all, you can get a picture of here are some pictures, and they're not pictures, they're videos. But you also can go and create few pages. So, for example, I created 2 pages, right? And I can make video out of it too. I can animate it. Well, it's already created, but you can animate it, and when you're looking at it, it's gonna look like something like this. I mean, you can add certain effects in here, and you know, it's gonna be looking more like a video. But you can just make, few pictures, add them, create a video, add some music, and voila, you have your post for Instagram, for example, because people in there like when it has some music. So this is basically what is videos about. Any questions, guys?
Yeah, Andrii. So like let's say in the videos,
hmm
but we always have to put like DMI, the logo, etc. Or no?
Not always. I created some videos that I was including DMI logo only in the end, like a branding. But in the between, I was just making, like, just text, just whatever I was feeling was looking good. But in the end, I was putting some logo, for example, and it's easy to do in here. So here is the video. Here is my upload, um, for example, right? And you see it works perfectly well. You just put it in somewhere in here, or if you're doing it in the end, you can just put it, in the middle, like very big logo. Again, your imagination, okay? You're working on this. You're trying to create something. Create, like, just make sure it looks good. And here's the video. Here's our logo. Everything works. This is why Canva is good.
Okay, so we don't always have to put okay, so, and also for like our countries, right? Do we have to put the DMI Canada or no? There's not.
Mm, Not always. You can just put for example, like on top, you can put something like the Digital Marketing Institute, Spain or Canada. When you're presenting, you're gonna see when you're creating a video, you want to put some branding, right? And you can just put the Digital Marketing Institute Canada, for example, is the certifying body or something like that.
And for
So say it again.
and for pictures, the same.
Yeah, for pictures the same. If you see that there is an option for you to put a logo, I mean country, like a flag or name, you can do it. If you don't feel like it's not going to look good, don't. Again, as Nigerian, you saw there were a few Nigerian posts and they were creating it with their flag. So you can do this. Obviously, we want you to include certain, branding of your country in several posts. But you see in here, for example, they put this Nigeria. In here, they didn't put anything, but they create a video actually. I don't know who. It's obviously Canva. I can tell you, it's not something professional. It's Canva. This video was created by Canva, and you see there, they just put something in here. You can include in there, for example, Digital Marketing Institute Canada, something like that. Okay.
So it's not necessary all the time.
All the time, no, but make sure that at least sometimes you're doing this. Okay, because I see that it's not something that, I mean, we're online, really. We're not in Canada specifically or in Spain. We're online, so it doesn't really matter if you're gonna put it in or not. Let's see. All these videos are there. They have created them in Canva because they're very simple. All this type of video, you can find it, and you see they just put some kind of form in their shape, and they put some name, and here we go. Digital marketing. I like this one actually. I would put in here maybe our logo, big logo, but they used our colors, they used everything, and you see, good video and good post. So that's what you can create. But again, go creative. Like, okay, any questions so far, guys? Any other questions?
Yeah, just when we're creating content and sending it to you to review, do you want it on email or WhatsApp, or does it matter?
No, we're going to be putting them on Hey Orca, and on Hey Orca, I'm going to be reviewing it. Okay, you just putting it in there, and if I see something outrageous, like something is not good, like whoosh, I will message you directly saying like, hey, no go, let's delete it because it's just not good. Okay.
Okay.
But again, I'm not like I'm not gonna uh, like go and say like, oh, this is horrible, like on every single post. Only if it's like really not good, really something that we don't want to see in there. Now, certain rules also for for us to create content. So I understand that some of you will still be looking on Google, and if you see the picture that is on Google, and you can take it, just make sure that it's not going to be a problem for us. Remember that we cannot have background. So if you're looking for a picture or something on Google, please go and look for PNG format. It's the best, and especially for logos, PNG is must, because if it's not PNG, if it's JPG, it's going to be like with this white background. We don't want that, okay? So how you gonna look for it? For example, Amazon logo PNG. So if you're gonna go to images, Amazon logo, you can take it from here because it's not going to be, for sure a problem for you. So PNG is something that looks on the background. You see there are little squares when you open this. So here, for example, you open this picture. You see it has white background on Google search, but when you open it, it has this, you know, um, squares. It means that if you're going to take this one and paste it to your graphic website, it's not gonna be looking like like with background, but it's gonna have white circles. I'm sorry, it's just going to be translucent. It's not going to be with it's just going to be this logo and nothing else. The same goes for this one. It's just going to be A. So if you're gonna have like a red background, it's not going to have any white backgrounds in here. It's just going to be this logo. Okay, so always remember to make sure that if you're downloading something, try to look for PNG, especially it comes to logos. Okay, so that was Canva. I know it was pretty short explanation, but I would recommend you to just go here and explore it. I'm pretty sure some of you already know how to use it, but if you don't, just go here, explore it. Literally will take 1-2 days, no more, and you will know how to use Canva. Okay, any other questions, guys? Okay, now 9:30. We have some time, so let's just check Photoshop. Okay, it was Vivian. So Photoshop, I want to say that I wouldn't use that as much. I personally don't use it. I know how to use Photoshop, but I was not using it for several months for sure because I just don't need it. Um, in my case, for creating whatever I wanted, Canva was just enough. I didn't have to use Photoshop. Although when you're working for someone, you might be asked for very specific, super specific picture that you need to create. And this way, I would say Photoshop is a lot easier. Why? Because Photoshop allows has just so many options for you, and you can just create basically whatever you feel like. It's not limiting you as, for example, Canva. So, any questions so far? When to use Photoshop and when Canva?
Is it free, the Photoshop?
Unfortunately, it's not. Unfortunately, it's not. It costs, I believe, Photoshop. I believe it costs $10 at least a month. So it's not free, uh, and it's not. Mm, Nothing is free in here, really. So here's view all plans and pricing.
Yeah, it's $10. I just double checked.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, this is actually good. Oh, it's first. Well, I'm a teacher. I can use it. So this is $20. $20 the subscription plan for all the apps. I would say if you're a student, use it. It's really good because $20, and especially when you're doing social media marketing, you might need to use it. Here's, for example, Photoshop. It's light version. It means that you just not gonna have like a lot of different stuff. Like you cannot use it on. Oh, you can use it on iPad. Um, Adobe Fresco. For us, for social media managers, I would say this one would be the best because you're not gonna have to use anything else really. So Photoshop for $9.99 if you need it. But Adobe also has other applications, programs that you might have to use. Premiere Pro, quite important because for you might have to create video. If you are not an Apple user, you don't have iMovie, that's what you might use. And because Canva, it can create videos, but those videos are not as professional. If you want to go more professional, Premiere Pro is almost all the professional people, they're using Premiere Pro. That's one of the best applications for creating videos. Then goes Illustrator. Um, it's it's good, but not really for social media managers. But still, I would say you need to have an idea what is this and how to use it at least a bit because you might need it. It's for vector graphics. So what is vector graphic? There are two type of graphics. Raster, it's just regular picture, and vector. Vector means that if you're going to increase the size, like loop it. Uh, it's always gonna have good quality. That's basically the main understanding of what is vector graphics. But again, for you, you're not gonna have to use it as much. I don't. You just need to maybe have like one day just to play with this. Just if you need to, you're not getting lost. And lastly, in design, I would say important. I saw a lot of people actually asking for you to know InDesign. It's for you to create. You see it says page design and layout for print and digital media. So for example, if you're creating some kind of postcard or you're trying to send invitation like, I don't know, email marketing, for example, this is something that you might have to use. I actually don't know InDesign right now, but I'm going to take course soon. So maybe if I'm going to learn this by the time we have email marketing, I'm going to show you this as well. But unfortunately, I just don't know it really good right now, but I'm learning this too. So InDesign, quite important too. Lightroom is, you know, for this, this little stores where they're taking a photo of you and they're just, correcting a bit. So this is it, and the rest, you can just check in here. But basically, you might need Photoshop. It's $9.99, and if if you feel like Canva is not enough and you need to create some good pictures, especially if you're only content manager or if you're only creating content, I would recommend you to buy it and just use it. Okay. Any questions? No questions. Okay, so that was about Adobe products, not advertisement. They didn't pay us, unfortunately, but that's it just pretty big applications, pretty big company, and a lot of people are using it, and that's why it's quite important to understand how to use it. Okay, Photoshop. So Photoshop, obviously we're not going to be able to cover everything in here because there is so much. I've been using Photoshop for 2 years, but honestly, um, there are still many things that might, surprise me. Like if I'm going to see something, I might be like, oh, I didn't know that. Okay, so on top, we're going to see, again, panel for with our tools. So there are many of them. So first is obviously, to open, new files, image, auto tone, auto contrast, size of image, rotation, layers. Layers are, I would say, one of the most important parts of Photoshop, I want to say, and you always need to make sure that you're creating layers. So what is layer is this one. So for example, if I'm going to paint something like, let's just make, here's blue color. So if I'm going to make something here, and I'm going to create here new layer, it's going to be a new layer. And if I'm going to paint in here, it's going to be different layer. So I can hide it. I can hide this one. And basically that's how it works. I recommend you, if you when you're going to start, if you're going to start creating something in Photoshop, to always create every single element on a different layer. You added some logo, create it on a different layer. For example, in here, I have this one. So this is the Digital Marketing Institute. You see it automatically created it on a different layer. So we want to use this a lot, because if you're not going to create it on, if you're going to create everything on one layer, you want to, for example, delete something like here. You want to delete something, and you see I cannot delete from this layer because it's different layer, but I'm going to go to background and I can delete it now. The same goes with logo. I can, start adding it, editing it a bit. So that's why layers are important. Always remember that we need to have as many layers as possible. You can group them obviously in here. You can do whatever with them, but remember every single element, every different element that you're trying to create, you're trying to add, create a new layer. It's just going to be easier for you then to edit it. Okay. Any questions? Okay. Now on the left side, we're gonna see our little tools that most of us will be using. So first one will be just to drag it somewhere. If you're going to select CMD and T, or if you're going to select Control T, you can obviously just rotate it a bit. So all this type of stuff. Sorry, it's a bit lagging because I'm showing it everywhere on YouTube and to you. Now, selection. So you can just select certain elements, and you can, paint something here inside, for example. So that's how it works. Then lasso. So yeah, it's lasso. So you can just make it this way, and it's going to create selection of certain elements. But I'm not using this as much. I will we will go to pen, and I will show you how pen is better. Then this is object selection tool. I don't think we need it. Crop tool. Again, we can crop something in here. Frame tool. eyedropper. So eyedropper, if you want to select, certain colors, for example, here's white, you can just select a certain color in here, and it's gonna take it to your color picker, and you can just use it in your next graphic. Next would be a healing brush. So healing brush is for photos, especially. You just, if you have a picture, they're showing it in here actually on the right. You see, there is like a stone or something. They select it and they're just deleting it. It doesn't work as good as they are showing it, obviously, but if you're trying to edit a picture of, of a person, for example, and you try, I don't know, like there is a pimple on the face, happens, but you can delete it with this. Again, this is artificial, so it might not work very good all the time, but you can use it. Brush, I showed you. Paint with pixels from another part of the image. It just basically taken this picture, this particular area, and you can stamp it somewhere else. History brush tool. Well, as you see, I never used it, to be honest. I don't know why this is for, but you might use it. Eraser, bucket tool, and they have they have gradient. For example, if you want to create gradient like this, you can create it like this. Next goes a blur, if you want to blur, and there are other tools: sharpen tool, smudge tool, loop, burn tool, sponge tool again, and pen. So I wanted to show you pen. So pen is, I want to say, is super important for you to use it. Why? Because pen, you can draw something like this, and I can select it. Okay, I'm gonna click in here, make selection, and I can select this particular element. Okay, I can be very precise. You cannot be that precise with lasso. For example, if I have a picture and I want to try to delete something, some element specifically. For example, it's a person, a big picture. There is like a city on the background, and there is a person, and I want to try to delete this person. I can just, I mean, you can do like it in Canva, like delete background, but it might not always work as good. I would take my time and I would start drawing, a silhouette of that person all over it like this. So I can select that only person, then select the make selection, and then just delete the background and leave only person and white background. That's why pen tool is pretty important for you to use. But not only this, you can make some different forms, some different shapes. For example, you created this shape, and because with pen you can curve it a bit, you can just, for example, take again. You see, I'm taking again gradient tool, and I'm just creating gradient inside of this selection. That's how you can use the pen. Okay, now text. Text is pretty simple. You just put in text on your picture, and again, you can upload many other fonts that you feel like you might upload. So you can download from their website. You can just add yourself. This is pretty simple. Form, shape, rectangle tool, whatever, pretty simple, and just other tools. In here, you also have a color picker. And yeah, that's basically the very start that you need to know about Photoshop. Okay. Again, there is so many tools in here. For example, filter. If you're gonna go to filter, you can, distort, displace, 3D, select, all of this. Any questions, guys? Okay, no questions, I think. So that was Photoshop. Again, for Photoshop, we can spend 2-3 classes, going through all these functions. But I would recommend you this one. If you feel like you want to use Photoshop, just go to their website, download it. I believe 7 days is going to be free. For the first 7 days, you can get it for free, and just spend some time in there. Just take a picture, spend some time in there. It's gonna, um, you know, it's gonna educate you a lot, because again, Photoshop is just a really big thing. it's a huge thing. And again, we're not going to stop on this too much because we just don't need it for our internship, for example. We don't need it a lot. We can use Canva for our purposes. But for the future, I would recommend you to obviously get to know it, because if you're going to put a Photoshop in your resume, it's going to help you a lot for for you to get this job, because many people are asking for Photoshop. Now, any questions on what type of content we're going to create? Okay, no questions. Again, if you feel like better use Canva, use Canva. It's completely fine. It's going to give you a lot of options and functionalities, just enough for you to create whatever you want. Now, I want you to understand that all this content that you're creating, you can take it with you. I mean, obviously, we're going to keep it on our social media. We're going to keep it with us as well. But if you want to create some kind of portfolio for yourself, if you created a picture and you're like, oh, I'm proud of it,